They called him Baba Irabo, the mad prophet of Odu Aley, a man draped in mystery, wrapped in rags, and followed by rumors that clung to him like shadows. He wandered the winding paths barefoot, his steps slow and deliberate, as though listening to whispers only he could hear. His voice was a strange one, sometimes rising in frantic chants, sometimes sinking to low murmurs that made goats bleat and birds go silent. Some villagers said ancestral spirits nested in his ears, feeding him fragments of forgotten messages. Others insisted he had stolen fire from the unseen realm, and the weight of it had twisted his mind. A few believe he had been born during an eclipse, marked from birth to carry heavy secrets. But no matter what tales they spun, one truth united them all. Baba Irabo's warnings were never empty. Every phrase, every riddle, every erratic shout, somehow always came to pass. So on that scorching afternoon, when he marched toward the palace with dust swirling behind him like a storm, the people felt a familiar shiver. Doors closed, stools were abandoned. Children were yanked indoors by trembling mothers. King Adrahan sat in the courtyard surrounded by his decorated priests, their bodies painted in symbols and powdered chalk. They lounged with the confidence of men who believed they controlled fate itself. Then Baba Irabo appeared, silent at first, his shadow stretching long across the courtyard stones. He lifted his old, lightning-starred staff and slammed it into the ground with a force no one expected from such a thin, ragged man. His voice boomed, not loud but deep, as though it rose from the belly of the earth. "Hear me, Odu Aley, not a drop from the sky will touch this land, no rain, no dew, no night mist, until I release the heavens myself." A quiet gasp fluttered across the courtyard. Then the king laughed, a harsh, mocking sound. The priests smirked, whispering about madness and delusions. A few children peeked from behind their mothers, wide-eyed and trembling. King Adrahan scoffed. "Old man, the clouds do not obey wanderers." Baba Irabo did not blink. He simply turned around, dust rising gently around his ankles, and walked away with the steady steps of someone who knew he had spoken truth. That night, the sky sealed itself shut. The familiar evening breeze vanished. Leaves hung heavy in the still air. Even the crickets silenced their songs. By dawn, the earth tasted dryness it had never known. Morning dew failed to appear on the grass. The wells seemed shallow. The horizon shimmered with heat that felt unnatural, merciless. Odu Aley entered a drought so silent, so cruel, that even the elders could not recall a tale like it. And Baba Irabo, the madman, the wanderer, the prophet, disappeared without a trace. No footprints, no farewell, just an emptiness, as though the land itself had swallowed him. For 3 moons, the drought gnawed at Odu Aley. Crops lay flat like defeated warriors. Children cried without tears. The priests who had once boasted of their painted symbols now hid behind their shrinking altars, afraid to meet the people's eyes. And then, on the 4th moonless night, the wind returned. It came softly at first, a timid sigh sweeping through the palm fronds. Dogs lifted their heads. Goats shifted uneasily. Women paused mid-grind at their mortars. From the far end of the village a thin figure emerged, walking as though returning from a journey between worlds. Baba Irabo. His rags swattered like torn banners. His staff glowed faintly, as though some quiet fire lived within its scars. But his eyes held a calm that made even the bravest hunter kneel. The villagers gathered in the square, whispering prayers they had long forgotten. Priests stumbled forward, trembling. Even King Adrahan rose from his throne. All mocking laughter drained from his face. Baba Irabo raised his hand, not the staff, but the hand of a man who carried truth. "Odu Aley," he said, his voice no longer wild but clear, steady, filled with the weight of heaven. "Your suffering has not been without purpose. You placed your trust in charms crafted by men, in altars built from pride. But the Most High, the one who sends wind to speak and rain to heal, he alone holds the key to your breath, your harvest, your peace. He turned to the king whose knees now shook beneath him. Your reign was clouded by arrogance. Bow not to me, but to the one who made the sky you mocked. Adarhan fell prostrate, forehead in the dust. The priests followed, their chalked symbols dissolving in sweat and shame. Baba Irabo lifted his staff toward the black sky. Let the heavens open, he whispered. Not by my power, but by the mercy of the Almighty. At first, a single drop, one soft, hesitant tear from the sky. Then another, and another, until the clouds broke with a roar and rain poured like a song long withheld. Children danced barefoot in the mud. Women lifted their hands and wept. Men let their hardened faces soften as the earth drank deeply. In the midst of the rejoicing, Baba Irabo watched with a faint smile, one touched by both sorrow and triumph. When the rain eased into a gentle drizzle, he set his staff upon the ground. Peace has returned, he said, because the people have returned to God. Before anyone could speak, the prophet stepped back into the curtain of falling rain. For a moment, his silhouette shimmered among the droplets, then faded completely. Some say he became the wind, others believe angels carried him away. But the elders of Odu Aley teach one truth to their children. Wherever a land forgets its maker, a prophet will rise. And wherever a prophet speaks, peace will follow if the people have ears to hear.
This year for Christmas I want for